The Tangent Egg podcast is aimed at a mature audience. It contains themes that are not appropriate for all listeners. It's important to note that we are not experts. We routinely have no idea what we're talking about and are just three idiots sitting around a table. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome to Tangent Egg podcast. I'm Seth, and as always with me is Swoosh and John Doe.
Hello.
Hi.
So this week we're starting out with, Did Sony have to make their stupid handheld stupider?
Yes. If you're gonna go hard, go hard.
Is it even really an actual handheld at this point? It may as well just be a tablet with a backbone. I wouldn't even call it an actual handheld.
You do hold it in your hand.
You hold it in your hand. You can hold anything in your hand, but doesn't make anything a fucking handheld.
It's a handheld in the same way. It's a handheld in the same way that a Whopper burger is a handheld.
They're both a fucking mess.
Yeah.
Well, there's further stuff we got the name of it now. It's the PlayStation Portal. Not to be confused with the PlayStation Portable, or its abbreviation of PSP.
Yeah, no, this is a different PSP to the other PSP. Don't confuse it with PSP.
They could have just made so many people so fucking happy by making a PSP that lets you stream your PS5 games outside of the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just give it a 5G connection or something and just let it actually stream a game. That's all it needed to do.
But no, they decided just to have a essentially wireless access to it and a not even OLED screen.
No.
So it's still an LED.
Yeah.
So it's not even it's got a shittier screen than a Switch.
Pretty much. So it's got a screen that can burn. That's always fun.
And come on. The Switch's screen isn't even bigger than my phone.
Yeah.
So you're not doing well there, Sony. Not for your fancy 4K games.
Oh, the thing is,
60 FPS.
they're going to charge so much for this thing as well. It's going to be shit.
You almost got to wonder if their engineering team was like, holy shit, we've really fucked up this phablet. We've got a shitload of screens that we can't use it for. What can we do? You could play a game on it. People do that, right? And now it's just cobbled together spare parts. And now they're just trying to hop it off.
I would say this is I think their design department was kidnapped a long time ago. It's just been held in a basement somewhere, and this is what they've produced. So they don't want to be there. They don't want to be working for Sony, but they have to produce something, or Sony takes away their kids or something. You know how Sony works.
Their entire design department is still off playing a Vita. And they're trying to make something to bring them all back.
Well, they are trying to call back to the days of the Vita because this little handheld has no way of making sound.
Yeah.
There's no speakers. So, if you want to get sound out of it, and not from your TV or other connected to your actual PS5 device, which you should really be sitting in front of instead of this waste of time, is to use wired headphones. Now, why wired headphones? Because we all have Bluetooth headphones these days. Everything uses Bluetooth. Even the fucking Switch does.
Why wired headphones? Because fuck you.
So, Sony decided that they're going to essentially lock the wireless setup of the PlayStation Portal to only work with PlayStation branded headphones,
which are $199 USD.
Yeah, those stupid little fucking earbuds.
They look fucking uncomfortable.
Big full headset.
That's just
the
fucking
earbuds
stupid.
are $199.
Don't use your fancy gaming headset.
Yeah.
Use ours.
There is no viable reason to do that. There is nothing. It's a fucking Bluetooth protocol. Any fucking headphones or earbuds that work on that protocol should work fine without any fucking issue. There is no reason for it.
Yeah, but at the same way...
It's simply so they have to use theirs.
Yeah.
That's it.
I swear it has to be some kind of built-in obsolescence for them. It's no, fuck it. We'll just have it so they only have to use our shit, and when it breaks, they'll have to come back to us. It's future double dipping.
The Apple model.
Yeah. The reason that there are better screens they could have used for this thing, but they're using one that is known to burn images into it. When you have a health bar in the corner of a screen for 90% of a game...
No,
it's no worse than an LCD you're probably looking at right now while we record
it's the
this.
OLED that burns in. They didn't even go
Oh,
that
that's
far.
Yeah.
But at least the OLED's a better quality
Yeah.
screen, and the burn-in happens if you seriously don't take a fucking
You
break.
leave
Yeah.
it there for days. But,
But
So,
yeah,
you know, take 2-3 breaks and have a significantly better screen.
there's
Great.
less and less reason for having this thing. Like,
yeah.
There is no
No.
reason. There never was. They're trying to make a market out of nothing.
Yeah.
they're trying to
It's
make
the
a market
strangest
out of a
thing.
lesser product after they've already produced a better product and fucking cancelled it.
I reckon they'd already
Yeah.
built these things and then realized how fucking shit they were, so now they're just doubling down. It's like, we have to do this. We can't back out now.
Kind of feels like
Yeah.
that.
This feels like the brainchild of the CEO's nephew, and they're like,
Yeah.
like the Homomobile. It's like, let's just make him do something, and this is
Yeah.
what he's come up with.
But instead of making it do things, he's gone, make it do nothing.
Yeah.
Yes. Make it do no things. Oh, I could do that.
At least the Homomobile could isolate the children in the
I
other
know.
pod so you couldn't hear
Yeah.
them.
That was pretty useful. I like the fact someone's actually made the Homomobile somewhere. Like, someone has actually tried to build it.
I'm pretty confident it will get made in Starfield.
Oh,
Yeah,
definitely.
oh yeah. Oh
It'll
yeah.
be there. Like, the entire ship would just be one giant Homomobile. But,
Well, that I'm actually more inclined to think you'll just suddenly, like, over the crest of a planet, just a Christ-posed Homo.
yeah, I know. No, just fly through the cosmos on a PS Vita. Like, just go that. Why not? But,
I mean, the PSC fanboys are probably going to. They're still really yelling about it.
They,
about that not coming to PlayStation.
they are so angry. Like, from putting in, like, all of the bad reviews before it's even officially out to complain the fact is, oh, it should have been a PlayStation exclusive. Like, Jesus Christ.
They're not even
guys.
saying it should be a PlayStation exclusive. They're just saying it should be on PlayStation, which it should be. It should be on fucking everything.
Yeah.
But the problem with their whole fucking argument is they can't look past, like, they're not even going to look in their own backyard. They're too busy looking over someone
No.
else's fence for all the shit that Sony pulls with exclusives. Like, fuck, bud, there's a lot of shit there that needs to get fixed before you worry about anything else.
Oh, yeah. Exclusives as a thing, I think, should just disappear. Like,
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
like exclusives. They are just
I understand
gatekeeping them
that
up.
developing for multiple platforms can be a problem for developers,
Yeah.
though.
Absolutely.
I get that. So, like, you can't expect there to be a PlayStation, an Xbox, a PC, a Switch, a Nokia 3310 version of every fucking game.
Coming soon to Skyrim.
I know.
I'm
well, I
genuinely
mean,
surprised
let's
there's
face
not
it,
Skyrim on a 3310. Actually, someone probably does have it running.
I know, right?
Give them a week. Like,
Skyrim,
They just don't
indestructible
want to
edition.
combine the power of the Nokia 3310 with
Yeah.
Skyrim.
it'll be the first DLC we get for like the new game, Starfield. It's like, first DLC is just Skyrim.
Well, I know it was possible that, like, there was a mod for Skyrim to turn one of the hammers so the head was a Nokia.
So-
Yeah.
And
was good.
when you buy it for the 3310, all it is Todd Howard jumping out of a bush and beating you in the head with the 3310 until you wake up in Skyrim.
It puts you in a coma. You dream of Skyrim.
Yeah.
You wake up in the cart. Oh, Jesus
But
Christ!
point is, like, that stuff should go to as many platforms as it possibly.
It
Yeah.
really should.
I will admit, Microsoft is kind of double dipping because they own the OS and the game platform that it's going on, and they really like to talk to each other because they use all the same protocols.
Yeah.
Well, at least similar enough that transposing one to the other is quite a simple task.
As long as they don't make me pay for it again to get it accessible on my console, I'm fine. I don't care.
Though for Skyrim, like,
It's not how the world works, and you know it.
Microsoft has had a little bit of dickery just for Skyrim. So there was, excuse me, there was a $1 Ultimate Edition of Game Pass. And you could get it, they cancelled it for a little while and they brought it back. And as of last week, they've cancelled it again. So right now you can't get or stack the $1 Ultimate Edition of Game Pass. And there's a big outcry. It's like, Starfield's just coming out. So a lot of people are saying, well, it was just to stop people getting Starfield for $1 for a month.
Yeah,
And
I
I
mean-
can understand that.
I can understand that to
Yeah.
a point. Absolutely.
I mean, as much as I'm like, give the people the game for $1. I do get it. You don't put $1 discount just as the biggest game coming out this year comes out.
Yeah.
You put it slightly beforehand to get people a taste, and then go, cool. If you want that cool thing, pay us next month.
Yeah. But we are going to play the hell out of that game.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's already
It's
preloaded.
going to be good.
The minute it went up for realsies preload. They put it up for preload like 2 months ago.
Yeah.
But when you downloaded it, it was a 2 meg file that just basically space allocated enough space for stuff.
Nice. Kind of useful, though.
I mean, yeah, but at the same time, it's like, well, it didn't preload.
Yeah.
It's like a preload for the preload.
The preloader's preloader.
But, you know, it's all preloaded on my machine, so it's like, haha. I think it's like Thursday next week.
Yeah.
Gonna be playing that.
Which means that all three of us are... Oh, wait, no, I think John Doe won't be home yet.
No, I'll be leaving here Friday next week, and I'll get home
That's right.
Saturday evening sometime.
So when we record next Thursday, it's just like me and Seth in the corner, like, yes, let's finish this quickly. There's no reason for this.
I will have my head
Jonesing
in a
for a
bucket,
head.
like just avoiding everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to annoy the shit out of me. Because I want it so much.
It's gonna be fun. We have such high hopes. We can
We
dream.
do, really. I actually do have quite high hopes for that game.
Look, if they can actually pull this off, everything's like half of what we're hoping for it to be, then yes, done. It could raise the bar the same way that Baldur's Gate has. If they do it correctly, which is pretty hard for Bethesda to do things correctly.
That is the big if.
Yeah. As long as they bring out the modding tools, we're good. Then the modders will fix it and make it a really good game.
Well, that's probably the best thing about Bethesda games, like how much modding happens for those games, like how moddable they are.
Yeah.
So, but apparently there was a 15 gig pre-release patch. So for people with like the review copies and everything, they've had another 15 gig patch in the time that they've had it. So, yeah, that's already a lot of shit. But there has been a bit of outcry of people that have gone to some worlds and they've hit invisible walls. And
Yeah, people are getting annoyed it's not a complete open space sim. It's like, no, that's how this functions properly, guys. If you wanted Bethesda storytelling, you're gonna have to accept a couple of walls.
Well, it's more that you can't simulate everything.
Yeah, and everyone's like, oh, there's a cutscene to get into the atmosphere. Like, yes, because rendering space and an entire planet when you're only taking up a small amount of it is a little bit overpowered. Like, don't do that. And the area it generates around your ship, you can land anywhere on the planet. It generates an environment for you. It's easily, like, I think it's twice the size of GTA 5's map. Like, around your ship. It's a huge map.
yeah,
But it's like I would be able to walk across the map. Like, it would take you literally months, guys. Like, why?
Because fuck you.
Apparently. But everyone's like, oh, no, you could go anywhere, you could do this stuff. That's what they promised. Like, no, they did not. If you watch any of the things, it's them shooting stuff. There were no promises.
And I mean, even if they did, and you look, it's a game.
Yeah.
It can't simulate everything.
Yeah.
The only time the most recent time anyone tried was No Man's Sky, and it took them an additional 4 years to get that fucker up to spec.
Yeah.
And even then, the procedural generation can make functionally completely useless worlds.
And it's still...
It's possible to crash on a planet
Yeah.
that does not seed enough resources
For you to escape the
get
planet.
off of the planet.
Yeah. But it's like... I like No Man's Sky. I've played it since it got fixed, and it's not bad. But it's really a nothing burger. Like, there's very little to actually do. But Bethesda was always very much like, we have a storyline. There are places that we want you to go and explore, and we have placed them here. You can go other places and fuck around with stuff, but here is where you go for story. And people getting annoyed that there's just not randomly placing these story points other places or just randomly finding them when they land.
or like
No.
from everything I've seen of it, like, oh, here's a place. Oh, this is nice. I'm going to build a base here, and then it might get raided by fucking pirates, or like shit can happen. Like, I'm looking forward to the story that just sort of evolves from what you fucking do.
Yeah. Like, the prefab settlements are going to be fun. I'm kind of looking forward to that shit. Just plonk that shit down and occasionally move things around and have fun. But,
Yeah.
yeah, it's...
Now, to get back to the topic that we actually were going to talk about.
Oh, yeah, that thing!
Epic's recently decided that they want to double down on trying to bribe people onto their platform by going, so if you sign up with us for 6 months, you get 100% of the game rev.
So,
And
100% of zero is zero. Come on, guys.
It goes back to the normal split of, I think it's like 80,
Yeah.
88-12.
Like, that is the dumbest split I ever heard. Oh, you get 100% for the first 6 months. Like, everyone avoids your service for those first 6 months.
Yeah.
Because you keep doing this. Stop doing this, and we might use your service.
I mean, I keep hearing rumors that Alan Wake is coming out in October. But I can't find it on any other storefront, so as far as I'm concerned, that's an Epic Jail problem, and I'll see it in 6
Yeah.
months.
Pretty much.
6 months to a year.
We'll see it next year.
But like,
I-
you got to wonder, like, if they get stuck in Epic, or when they get stuck in Epic Jail for a year, like, how much of a difference would it have made releasing everywhere else while it still had the hype of it actually coming out? Because after a year,
Yeah.
like, the sales
There are
on every
things
other
that come out
platform
from
are going to be
Epic and I
fucking
forgot.
low. Like,
Yeah.
I was really hanging for that Rebel Galaxies Outlaw. Like, the first game was
Yeah.
fun, but it was like almost like a 2D space game. But when they announced a sequel and you're in the cockpit and you're flying around, you're doing shit, like, this looks fucking awesome. And then it was in
Yeah.
Epic Jail for a year. So when it did eventually come out on Steam 14 months later, not even the 12 months that they said, 14 months later, still missing features. It's like, ugh.
Yeah.
Any hope I had for this game or interest is already gone. I've already played other games and that was off my radar so fucking far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your game gets forgotten.
Yeah.
Pretty much, I've forgotten so many games that were stuck in Epic Jail and just never got round to it. And I was hyped for games at certain points. Like, I want to play this. And then it's like, alright, I'll get to it when it comes out.
Epic may as well just do a fucking deal with Humble Bundle. When the game gets out of Epic Jail, just throw it in a bundle and I'll pick it up if I feel like it.
Yeah, straight to Humble. Like, that would work. I don't know why they're doubling down on this. It is a very weird thing that they're doing. Like,
Well, I have a suspicion why they're doing this.
Yeah.
Because before, Epic was approaching companies and essentially bribing them to come onto Epic for an exclusivity period. By doing it this way, now the company opts in to the 100% rev.
yeah.
So, now the company's the dickhead who wanted the money instead of Epic being the dickhead
Yeah.
who bought up some company that had a non-exclusive coming out that's now exclusive.
Pretty much. Like, it's still shady. Both people are still dickheads.
Yeah.
I've got to say this now. Controversial take. Both people suck.
Look, smaller companies, I don't think it is that weird.
Yeah.
You know, new startups, guys who are just trying out, making the first indie game, putting it up there. Sure, fine. Go for your 1 year. You might not have blipped on Steam anyway,
Yeah.
so you may as well go with the smaller market and a better ad rev share. So, good idea. Ad rev, what am I talking about? Sales rev.
It's a rev. We got there.
Yeah. So, I could see those being useful. It's more things like Gearbox, whenever they put out the next Borderlands thing. And they go, yeah, cool, give us that 100% rev for the first year.
Yeah.
You didn't need that. Fuck you. Just go on everyone.
Yeah, pretty much. That should be an indie exclusives kind of deal, I think.
But even like with all of that, I'm trying to think of a streamer bait game that released solely on Epic that actually went big.
I don't think there are.
No, like Tarkov went
Yeah.
fairly big, but that had its own launcher. It had nothing to do with Epic. It's done
Yeah.
well on its own. But
Yeah.
like, say Among Us or Fall Guys or any of those kind of fucking streamer bait fucking games, if it had come out in Epic Jail, would the reach have gone as big? Would like of the games that are looking for those big fucking
Well,
instant markets before they
Among
burn
Us,
out?
yeah, like Among Us and Minecraft both had pickups well after their initial releases.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Among
Because
Us
they're a
was
fun
around for
party
a
game,
couple
like
of
they're a
years before
fun
people
like
picked
a couch co-op, or
Yeah.
not so much couch co-op because that'd be a fucking that'd sort of break the purpose of
Yeah.
it. But they're a good community-based games. You've got some mates to fuck around with. You don't have to be a streamer for those kinds of games.
Yeah.
But would Fall Guys have gone as big as it did, or other games if they'd been locked to the Epic Store?
No way. Guaranteed. Like, they would have burnt and fizzled out very quickly if anyone even bothered picking it up, because, you know, it's an Epic jail. Who's going to touch that?
The only thing I can think of was Fortnite's Epic exclusive, isn't it?
Yeah.
They were before they became a battle royale.
But they're free.
Yeah.
So.
But
it was back before it was still a tower defense game.
Yeah, I bought it back when it was a fucking tower defense game, and I fucking enjoyed that game.
I enjoyed it as a tower defense game. It was good fun.
But
then,
but tower defense games have a life.
Yeah.
And Fortnite broke out.
Pretty much. But it's still
But,
weird.
you know, that's free, so even if you only get Epic to play Fortnite, it didn't cost you anything to play it.
Yeah. So they're not really making much of it, like, off that.
Oh, no, they make buttloads off Fortnite.
oh yeah,
Oh, I mean, like,
fucking skins and deals and shit.
Oh, that shit,
Yeah.
Fuck. They went ham on the microtransactions.
Fucking oath.
And all kinds of FOMO shit. They're like borderline dark pattern stuff.
I just find it really fucking stupid that every time they bring in, like, a cross-promotional thing, it breaks the game. Like, they brought in lightsabers, and they broke their own game with them. Like,
Yeah, but those are time-limited events. They're not forever.
I think you can still get, like, lightsabers. Basically, once they're in there and you have them, you're good. But
You might be able to have it as cosmetic, but I mean, look, I don't play Fortnite.
no, they had to nerf
so
the shit out of them.
I'm talking a lot out my ass here, but like I've seen a lot of content that they've had that's been like seasonal.
Some of it's been seasonal, but a lot of it ends up staying in there. Just nerf the shit out of it once the event's done.
Oh, they
Or once the community starts screaming at them to nerf it,
Yeah.
because I
mean,
it happens.
Yeah.
unless it's near a Blizzard, in which case they ignore everyone screaming at them. Case in point, Overwatch 1. Just nerf Symmetra. Oh, we should nerf everyone but Symmetra and boost her powers again? Neat. Heard. No. Please stop.
Hurry up and balance the game. Overwatch 2, you say?
A sequel, huh? That's a great idea.
Sure, we'll give you features. Let's not give them any features.
I just love the whole thing of like, just can we have like an actual story? We love your animations. Yeah, we'll make a second game for it. Just ignore that. Fucking dicks. But yeah, no, Epic has chosen a very strange hill to die on, in my opinion.
Look, I understand why they've got to die on it. They've got to splash.
Yeah.
They have to. Otherwise, they'll be relegated to the Green Man Gamings of the internet. And they don't want that. They want to be the next Steam.
They're trying very hard to be the next Steam, and it's like, guys, stop. You don't have to be the next Steam. Do something different.
Be good first.
Yeah.
It's like that really obnoxious younger brother following around an older brother who just wants to be left the fuck alone. It's like, no, I'm doing my shit. I can draw too! It's like, go the fuck away. Just shoot. Please leave. Stupidity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What other stupidity do we have to talk about today?
I mean, it's been a bit of a quiet week, I'm not going to
I
lie.
mean, there's always some stupid around.
Oh, there's always some stupid,
Yeah.
and it exists. But most of it's like small little things, like, you know, the weird comparison between pay at BioWare for the fired staff.
Yeah, that's
It's a
kind
fun
of
statistic.
fucked.
I can't remember where I read this, but they did a rough calculation based on known pay of the CEO.
Yeah.
And if they paid every single person who got fired $100,000 a year,
That's being pretty fucking generous to that position they're in.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I'd kill for $100,000 a year
Fucking
job.
Most people in that industry would kill for 60,000.
Yeah. So, that's being pretty generous to every single one of them, irrespective of position.
Yeah.
They would equal 1/14 of the CEO's salary.
So essentially, if they just get rid of that CEO, the game would post, like, the company would post massive profits for 1 year.
Yeah. Fucking oath.
Yeah.
I don't think people have been paying attention to how much, like, CEO salaries have increased.
Oh, yeah.
Or they-
Fucking
Oh,
oath.
absurd.
They're just kind of like, oh, no, the CEO, they deserve to get paid more. It's like, all right, sure, I will say they can get paid 20% more than their highest earner. That's it. Like, nothing else.
I reckon, like, a CEO, sure, get paid what you do, but if you produce a product that is shit, like, if the product fails, you failed. Like, it's all on you.
You mean like the guy who ran, what was it, Nintendo?
Yeah.
Like
that when it fucked up,
poor things, he took a pay cut.
Exactly. That's how it fucking should be run. Not
Absolutely.
just,
There should be consequences.
Not just, this game failed, so we're going to jack the price up of something else. And, oh, look, we made a profit.
Yeah. Or even then, it's like, oh, we'll jack the price up on this, and we'll cut how many people we have. We'll get rid of them. Like,
Yeah.
No. You're just going to make worse shit. Get rid of the thing that fucked it. Get rid of the overbearing executives. Or the production houses that want to keep touching things they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Like, that's been an issue in our industry for years. Like,
Yeah.
Get
Oh, we just
marketing
move up
out
this
of the
timeline,
development
like-
area.
I mean, there's a reason, like, most of us hate people who are in marketing.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
Fucking marketing people. Oh, we'll just bring that forward. No, you won't. Because you don't know what you're talking about.
Hey, developer, I told the client that the thing you're making is going to do this. So it's going to do now. See ya. Fuck off.
At which point it's like, why would you tell them that? Ah, I thought it was good at the time. Like,
Yeah, it sounded
hold
good.
still. Just... I was like, just stay where you are. I'll be back in a second. You come back with a pump action. But, God damn, like, it's just dumb. The industry is slowly seizing, and while it's funny to watch it burn because we're not in that industry anymore, it's still sad because I like the things they make.
Yeah.
I know entirely too many people in that industry.
Yeah, we know a lot of people in that industry. It's like, it's sad to see them have issues. But, sadly, it's a very toxic industry, and there's no fixing that without redoing everything.
Yeah. But,
Like-
anyway.
On to less depressing things. Let's talk about
Yeah.
something that's fun. What do we have?
How about Armored Core 6 players being fed into a wood chipper?
That was fucking funny though, because both me and Angry watched that in like real time when we were watching you like stream it. And holy crap!
So what we're actually talking about, oddly enough, is not actually throwing people into a wood chipper.
Unfortunately.
Although that would be...
I would not put it past them. Like,
But, so this is from Armored Core 6, the, like, tutorial boss. Now, typically in FromSoft games, tutorial bosses have been things that you can either run away from or are designed to kill
Or
you.
dodge roll around.
You're not really supposed to succeed. This one, on the other hand, no, it's a straight-up combat fight.
Yeah.
But they haven't really taught you how to do combat yet.
yeah, they haven't taught you much of anything. All that tutorial comes after you beat this boss.
Yeah.
They threw a mid-game
And
boss
A
into,
full actual
into a
proper
tutorial. mission.
Like, me and Angry sat there and watched you play for what was it, like an hour? I think.
I think it was about, it was more like 20 minutes. It didn't take me that long.
Fair.
But it was just like, wow, what the fuck?
Yeah, no, it was just insane. We sat there trying to give like help. It's like, maybe if you do this instead, and like you had to learn the game before you were taught the game.
Yeah.
And then after that was nothing but really simple enemies, like baby's first enemy. And it's like,
It's chill as fuck after that.
yeah, it honestly just felt like an entry gate, which like, you know what? Fuck you, get good or don't play our game. Like,
Yeah, kind
we
of.
haven't seen
'Cause
that level of
chopper
shit
can do some
since Ninja Game.
like, that chopper can do some crazy damage.
Oh, it
it's
did.
not a pushover.
If you stayed still,
Although
for
I-
too long, you were screwed.
I've watched some people since then absolutely dominate.
Yeah. Like, but also, like, some of the controls, like, watching you accidentally start that dash sequence.
Oh, the assault
The
boost.
assault boost. Oh, God, that was funny.
I don't understand why. For some reason, they have this thing called the assault boost, where you burst forward really fast. For some god only knows reason, they bound that to left stick click.
Yeah.
You know how often I was just accidentally starting that because I was getting a little too into a turn?
Yeah. And it wasn't like, oh, a short thing of like a second. No, it was like 3 seconds of burn if you accidentally triggered that thing.
Yeah, so it was very annoying.
yeah.
I have since changed some of the key bindings around so that it's not on that stick anymore, and oh, guess what? It's not a problem anymore.
Yeah.
See, having
you
it
just
there
dodge
is
and
like
stay.
you got issues on two fronts. Where you accidentally hit it when you get like into it, or when you really do want it, you just can't seem to get that click to happen, and just like
Yeah.
Oh, like that's just the
Like-
shitter spot for a dash.
It is not a great one. Like,
Whereas I switched the bindings for the maneuvering jets and the assault boost, because the maneuvering jets, if I accidentally, despite the fact that I want them on all the time, hit it and turn them on, it's not a problem.
yeah.
Mostly because I want them on all the time.
Yeah. I mean, like, the one good thing that this boss did have was the fact that when you beat it, it actually felt like an accomplishment.
Oh yeah. Oh
Like,
yeah.
holy shit, the three of us were just so excited when that happened.
Like
Yeah.
beating that and then going into the next areas where it's like, where's the difficulty gone? Like that sets you up
Yeah.
for the failure of the next big boss, like of the bosses later
Yeah.
on.
It lures you
what
into
the fuck?
complacency.
And that fucking boss is a motherfucker. Jesus.
Is that the spider with the pine cone?
No. That's in chapter 2. This is chapter 1's. But if you saw any of the pre-release material for Albacore,
Bits and pieces.
you'd have seen like a kind of weird gunboat-looking thing firing like a metric fuck ton of missiles.
Nice. That sounds like
Yeah,
fun.
that's the first chapter boss.
All I remember from, like, watching you play was at some point we sat there looking at your mech and we're like, we know this shape. And then realized,
That's Shockwave.
and it was like, yeah, that's Shockwave. We have to repaint it. Went back to base and painted it purple and pink.
Yeah, we did do that.
Although we did get distracted for a good half hour confusing Soundwave and Shockwave. That was fun.
Yeah.
Our Transformers library, John Doe wasn't there to correct us. So,
Yeah, I was too busy on a jackhammer.
'Cause
yeah.
I just remembered the two of them as like they're very commonly shown together or working together. I'm like, it's Soundwave, isn't it? It's like Switch is like, no, it's the blue one.
Yeah.
Ah, fuck, I need the purple one. Like he's always with Soundwave. Fuck
Yeah, it's one of those things, they're brothers canonically and they're always together. Like,
But-
that doesn't help.
Soundwave is a tape deck.
Yeah.
That's the easiest way. It's blue.
Yeah. That's the thing, because I was like, we were looking up the color palette while we were painting it. Like, I'll just search for Soundwave, and I found Soundwave. It's like, that doesn't seem right. But Jesus Christ, it's a good game to watch, though. I quite like it.
Yeah.
It's a nice distraction from Baldur's Gate, which has still got my soul.
Yeah.
I'm so
I don't think it's
devoed.
bringing it back.
Like, I'm off and I have not been able to play it the entire time I allocated to playing Baldur's Gate. I haven't even been near my PC.
Yeah.
I turned it off at the PowerPoint 2 weeks ago, and I'm not going to get to it until the day fucking Starfield drops. It's like, God.
Me and John Doe
fucking
had
damn.
like a very short period of time in which to play Baldur's Gate before Starfield came out.
Yeah.
And you have lost all of it
Yeah, I have
renovating
none
a
of it.
house.
And I thought, oh, I'll try and find some other way to play it. And you can't stream it on Game Pass, and I've got shit service where I am on Game, so I can't play Game Pass anyway. And it's like, I'm just blocking it all out of my mind, and I'll play it at some point in the future. This is shit.
Yeah, just the age-old, like, doesn't
You'll
exist.
have a good time then.
Oh, it'll be good.
But
We'll
anyway,
do like a four-man run. We're good.
talking of Baldur's Gate 3, the Xbox parity between consoles, like they're one of the biggest talking
Yes.
points between, like when they announced that there's going to be 2 tiers of console, like, but every game you play will have the same features on both consoles. It's changing with
Yeah.
Baldur's Gate 3 because the Series S version won't have split screen multiplayer. It just can't handle it. So
Yeah, understandable.
it is understandable, like,
Very-
but they've even gone through and tried to reduce the resolution of the halves to have the same resolution over the entire screen, and it's not just the image quality, it's also the physics of the world and the decision making,
Oh, yeah.
and like trying to render the physics twice and everything that runs in the background is just not fucking happening.
I mean, like, I love that game, but it chugs occasionally where it finds anything slightly difficult.
Yeah.
Like, the second screen, like, just doubling up that processing power, I'm like, yeah, no, that would probably catch my computer on fire at this point.
Yeah.
And it's not exactly a bad PC. It's pretty fucking,
But-
like, good.
Apparently, like, Xbox sent a lot of extra devs, like, from their own, like, console development team and their engine development team to Larian to get, like, because Larian said it wasn't going to come out until, like, sometime early 2024, and they would know, fucking, we want this game before Christmas. Like, we want this on the fucking console. For one, it shut up the PS5 fanboys saying it was a PlayStation 5 exclusive, which is just dumb in itself. But
I found that funny. They were saying that after it released on PC though.
yeah, and it hadn't even come out on the PS5 yet, but somehow it was a PS5 exclusive. But like they sent, by some reports, up to 100 devs, like console development people and their software development people, to Larian to get this to fucking work on the S, because they got it working on the X fine, but it was the S that was holding the whole thing up. And even after all of that, they've still decided we're just going to drop split screen.
Yeah.
So,
like,
at some
what's the
point,
core difference with the S?
hardware capability.
Just the older machine.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well, no, it's not an older machine. They came like you had your Xbox One, then your Xbox One X, which was like that mid-generation update, and then with this generation, they came out. It's meant to be the same console, but like it's the same as having like either a 3080 and a 2070. Like it's the same thing, just with slightly pared down internals. So they've said that from when they announced that they were going to have 2 tiers of console, that you get every feature on one on the other. Like just one's going to look a little prettier than the other, but everything will still run the exact same. And there's been
fair.
there's been devs screaming out for like, shit, we really want to produce this so we can get it running on the X. It's just not happening on the S. Larian's the first company where they've said, oh shit, no, we really want this game to come out. Like, yeah. And so,
Well, that's the opening the gate, and it'll probably depend on what other future developers want to remove as parity. I mean, like, there's probably going to be guys like Forza who historically have very pretty games, but split screening the co-op's got to be co-op.
apparently they've been crying
brother.
out for, like, since this generation came out, saying like, we want to develop a game, but we just can't get what we want to happen on the S. Like, can we either pare it down, or just, like, there's been quite a few developers that have just said, can we just release an X version? And apparently no. The answer to that is a straight out no. If it's coming to the Xbox, it will be released for both.
But it's like, we have nerfed our own console. Cater to us. Like, guys, please.
Yeah.
Please,
like, why make life more... Like, I understand, like, the price point. Like, you can get more people to buy a console if there's a cheaper version of it, or whatever else. But, goddamn, at some point, you're just hindering yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, why not, like, even the X is, like, behind the PS5 in, like, capability. But, yeah, why hamstring yourself that far that the games you want to release, you can't get to fucking run?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is potentially quite good.
Yeah, potentially, yeah.
For some future
yeah,
release.
if it's going to let devs release the game they want to produce on the X and release a version that runs well but with some features missing, like whether it be split screen multiplayer or whatever they deem necessary to remove, I think that's only a fucking good thing. It's going to help those fucking games get out, and it may even cut down on development times. Like, they said, Larian said they weren't going to be able to bring it to the Xbox until sometime 2024, and now we dropped one feature and it's coming out in 2023.
Yeah.
So,
Like,
Well, I mean, let's face it, they probably already had it running.
yeah.
They just couldn't get the split screen to run. So
And it's not exactly something that's going to be used all that often, to be honest.
I really hate saying that because, like, I have very fond memories of playing Halo couch co-op.
Same.
Hell, it's how me and my current housemate kind of became friends.
Yeah.
Like, we were friendly to each other, but it was when we were living together for the first time, and he walked past my room and saw me starting up Halo and was like, "Hey man, you want to take a player?"
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, sort of kind of all went from there.
but
And now I've been living with the same housemate for 10 years, for fuck's sake.
But like a game like Halo, split screen like that works really well. But a game like Baldur's Gate, you could have the entire screen just snap to the character as they're about to do their action.
Yeah.
Having to render an entire screen for a character that's going to be seeing almost the same thing that you're going to be seeing. Like, sure, if you split the party, I can understand that, but even then, like, you do a few turns and it snaps to the other group, or...
Nah, that'd really kill the flow.
A bit. Yeah.
I've played a few of the Larian games co-op before,
Yeah.
and part of the joy is walking into a new area, a new town, and everyone, alright, everybody break!
Yeah.
And everyone runs off and does their own thing, and then they come back again and be like, okay, so I found these clues, and this thing, and this thing, and that thing over here.
Fair enough.
And that's really cool.
And that one
I
other guy
feel
turns
like
up and is like, I killed all the guards. Like, Steve, why? Every time, without fail.
Yeah. I've never played any
Something
other
like that.
Larian games multiplayer like that anyway. I've played a few of the others, but yeah. So
I had a really fun time in the first Divinity, where a friend of mine was playing a thief and I had a druid. So I was heading to the graveyard to talk to animals, and he was rifling through people's stuff. So we got like very different sides of the coin on the puzzles, and it was really cool.
awesome.
So I can see Larian wanting to preserve that if you have another player. But then, even when we did that, like Nope, I'm thinking of something else.
The words have escaped.
No, it's kind of mushed two things together. It's like,
yeah.
you remember a multiplayer game where you'd move away from each other, and when you came together, it would remove the split line. And it's like, no, wait a minute, we run separate computers for Divinity. What game am I thinking of? I think it might have been the Lego game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about
Yeah,
right.
it is.
Good games.
They do that really
games.
well. That split screen and then merge back together is really fucking
Yeah.
cool.
Really useful.
Smooth as
Yeah.
hell, too. But then again, they're not the most detailed.
No, they're
Yeah.
really not.
So it's pretty easy to render and unrender a dual screen.
Yeah.
Very much so. Meanwhile,
yeah.
Baldur's Gate just is an angry goblin in the corner taking all of my RAM. So. Like, give me more. Like, there's no more to give. Please.
But I'll make this rock prettier.
There are some pretty rocks, I'll give it that.
Sorry, I just remembered a different outcry that was happening earlier on. I don't know if this week or last week, but like a while ago, it was announced that Starfield was partnering with AMD, and so that their rendering software was going to be the default one for the whole thing. And there was a big fucking stink about it, like, oh, that's shit. Why is AMD defaulting? And you're not going to have this, or you're not going to have the DLSS from NVIDIA or whatever it is. And since then, AMD's come out and said, like, we have absolutely zero issue of them adding DLSS to the game. Like, AMD pretty much stepped back and say, oh shit, no, it's not on us. We're not stopping anything here. And since then, it's gone real quiet as to whether it'll actually have DLSS support for NVIDIA cards from release, or if it'll only have the AMD version of it. I can't remember what the AMD version is, but I remember when the...
Ray tracing, is it?
No, that's a different rendering type.
Oh, that's graphics card. That's something else. Yeah.
When Jedi Survivor came out, I've got an NVIDIA card, but it worked better with the AMD rendering version than the fucking DLSS. That was just fucking terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not particularly a big fan of the way that works. I don't think it actually helps that much.
No, well, I'm running an older, like, 20 series graphics card, so I need all the help I could fucking get. And, it for Jedi Survivor, it was a massive difference for me in playing the game. Everything like a blur with fucking DLSS, but under the AMD one, everything ran fucking pretty as. So it'll be interesting to see whether they actually add that into it, but there was quite a stink kicked up about it for a little while there.
People will kick up a stink about anything on the internet, to be honest.
Pretty much.
Like, it does not take them long. Hell, there was people kicking up a stink that the Barbie movie wasn't specifically aimed at a bunch of, like, middle-aged dudes. It's like, why the fuck would it, guys? What is this? Why would they point this at you? Then you'd just be angry they're angling it at you. Then the whole thing of, It was like, it's just like Mattel advertising. It's like, yeah, that's what Transformers was. We grew up on advertising as TV shows. That's how this works.
I would be so very happy if, like, next year they announce a G.I. Joe movie and G.I. Joe runs out and it's just Kens on the beach fighting.
That would be amazing. Or just Ken wandering into a G.I. Joe meeting.
Yeah.
Just in the background. Like, how'd you get in here? Like, oh.
I mean, given that we're actually 3 episodes deep in now, have you guys been watching Ahsoka?
I have watched the first 2 episodes. I am behind on the most recent, but I really enjoyed the first 2 episodes, to be honest. Like,
Yeah.
I've watched the first one. I haven't watched any further yet just because I haven't really had a chance to watch a lot of TV. But yeah,
That's fair.
I've thoroughly enjoyed what I did get to see of it.
they have parodied a lot of the stuff from, like, the last couple episodes of Rebels, and I love it. Like, everything's not quite frame for frame, but it's shot for shot in certain
Close
places.
enough.
It's so good.
But even like
I'm enjoying it.
like from again like the Jedi Survivor games, like or the like some of the character and backstory from that was also in there, like going down into the fucking the ruin of it and like the little puzzle to solve the thing to like that was just very much game mechanics to me. It was like, holy shit, like this is actually pretty cool. They're bringing in more media than just, okay, you've seen the first 6 movies, that's all we can reference back to.
Yeah. Well, they're slowly expanding that stuff out because in Mandalorian we saw the space whales. Like, they've made sure they're in there now. They're taking from a lot more sources now, which is great.
The problem they have, though, is like those first 2 episodes are basically here's the characters if you didn't watch the animated stuff.
Yeah.
The problem is there's some context missing, particularly for some scenes if you didn't, and some of them misrepresent, in my opinion, certain things. I think a really good one is when Ahsoka's talking about having tried to train Sabine.
Yeah.
And she's like, I abandoned the Jedi, and then I abandoned Sabine. No. Roll that back. Ahsoka left the Jedi because the Jedi accused her of a terrorist bombing, and we're going to throw her in prison.
Yeah, they wanted to throw her under the bus. Like, she had
There's a
good
reason.
She didn't just walk away from the Jedi.
Ahsoka
like,
to leave the...
Yeah, for all of that fucking
They
doubt.
forced her away.
Fucking oath they did.
But they conflate the 2 things as being equal, and it's like, I mean, I guess someone could mentally think of these as equal, but they are radically different.
Yes.
Someone who's
Very
trying
different.
to shoehorn a plot together may think they're the same thing.
Yeah. Which, unfortunately, happens.
Yeah.
It's like someone got the cliff notes of Ahsoka's not with the Jedi anymore.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they still keep
Cool,
referring
that's the
to
thing.
her as a Jedi, including in front of her at one point, and she doesn't correct them.
Yeah.
That annoyed me. Where she didn't, like, someone mentioned, she's a Jedi, and didn't immediately say, not a Jedi. Because that's what she kept doing in, like, the TV shows. Like, I'm not a Jedi anymore.
Well, part of the TV show was also accepting that if you wield a lightsaber and have the Force, people are going to treat you that way.
But, yeah. I do like their new, like, Darth guy, like, their dark side master.
Might be Darkseid, might not.
Yeah.
They don't even have red sabers, they have orange ones.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, because they looked really red, but no, they were orange, weren't they?
It did annoy me.
So they've not...
So, that first episode, like, she's got the Duvulaki sitting there. She says, don't take it out of the ship. All she had to say, where there's 2 fucking bad guys after it, we cannot let it get into their hands. That's all that needed to be said.
But that's the downfall of every fucking Jedi. Like, every time, it's like, there is a thing here, and if I told you everything that was happening, you would listen to me and not do the dumb thing. But instead, I'm going to withhold information as a test.
Yeah. And
See, here's the
unnecessarily
thing.
withhold.
Plot happens.
Yeah.
But you
He's
can
like-
figure out a better plot than that. Like, goddamn, not just don't do the thing. I'm not going to tell you why don't do the thing. Just don't do the thing. Oh no, a bad thing happened because you didn't do the thing because I didn't tell you the information
why-
to not do the thing. Fuck me, that's annoying.
That's kind of why I liked Mandalorian. Like, it's why I really enjoyed Mandalorian at times, where they didn't make these kinds of dumb decisions every 2 seconds. they would just like, oh, I have information. I'm going to give this information to people so they know what's happening.
This might be
It's
useful
like,
to
oh
others.
shit, we can plan for that. Yeah.
Well, another good one is there's a training sequence in the third episode.
Yeah.
For Sabine and with Ahsoka, and there's a point where she gets her to put on do the traditional Jedi training thing of put on the helmet that blocks your vision.
Yeah.
And Sabine's like, well, why the heck would we want to do this? His name's Keno. You knew him. He was blinded and used the Force to see.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why.
You spent a lot of time with him. He sacrificed himself so you could keep going. What the fuck, Sabine?
You actually met an example of someone who uses the Force to see.
Yeah.
That's why you should try to use the Force while you cannot see.
Yeah.
Oh, God. I do hate when that kind of shit... I know they have to explain it for a new audience and everything, because, they haven't watched the other stuff. But some days, that you just wish there could be required reading for fucking TV shows. Like, just... Before you watch this, watch this thing first. Like, oh,
Would you like to know more?
No, it's like in comics where it pops up, someone references something. It says, "Oh, in this issue, like in the orange box down the bottom, like this issue, this page, this thing."
Yeah.
Like, just put that in there. Just like little pop up in the corner, like this episode of this thing. Go watch it. Fuck off.
A part of the credit sequence was just like all episodes that were referenced.
Yes. Go here for this. Like, that'd be fine. I'd be okay with
Actually,
this.
that is one thing I do enjoy. Like, I watch a few things on Prime Video. And in that they have they call it an X-ray feature, and if you pause the episode or movie or whatever it is at any point, it comes up with the pause splash screen, but it has the list of actors that are currently on the screen, other things they've been in, and information about the so for the latest Spider-Man movie, if you watch it on that, it comes up with this plot point or this character is in reference to this comic book or this universe or whatever it is. It's
That's
unnecessary
like
if you actually.
Have we
know
all
anything.
watched Spider-Man yet?
Have
we all watched Spider-Man?
only watched the
Most
trailer.
recent
I'm
one.
actually watching it this weekend.
Okay, we'll save it for next time. I have some feelings about that. Very strong ones. Mostly to do with the ending.
Which Spider-Man we're talking about here?
Into the Spider-Verse 2.
Yeah.
I've watched it. It's a good movie, but wow, that ending's got some problems.
Yeah, that tends to happen, though. Endings
I know,
are hard.
but
Like,
That's the kind of thing we bitch about on this show.
it is. Like, endings are hard things to do, but at the same time, do better. Bloody hell. What else has happened this week? Actually, no,
The
one thing
fan
before we
book.
move away from Ahsoka. Whilst I love her ship, by God is it fucking stupid at times. Like, it's the whole, like, Star Wars loves their shifty, ships, like things that change modes to go into atmosphere and everything else. Folding wings. I love that shit, don't get me wrong. But her actual ship is just a tiny cylinder in the middle of these massive wings. Like, there is a lot of empty space in that ship at times.
And for some reason, those wings are designed to do a full 360.
Yeah! Like, I still love the ship, it looks amazing, and I love that kind of stuff, but it's like, I looked at that, like, that one, it's not quite meshing. I still like it, but it's like, the animator in me is crying.
Look, man, I want to bitch about episode 3 because there's some dumb design works in there.
Nice.
Her ship,
But I won't. I'll save it till you guys have seen
as I
it.
say, her ship when it fucking rotates reminded me of the Batwing in the Flash movie.
Yeah.
But it was played for fun there, not for serious.
The old school Bat stuff in that movie was great. Only good thing about that movie.
Yeah,
But,
I argue with you on that.
Fuck
Not
yeah.
even a little bit.
I
I don't know if you guys watched it. Did you guys ever watch Metalocalypse?
Yes, there's a new movie that came out, wasn't there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it did. It's really good.
Is it another rock opera
Um,
like the last one, or is it an actual just like normal movie?
Yes and no.
Yeah, fair. I knew there was going to be songs in it, but like the last one was a full-on rock opera.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not as full on as Doomstar Requiem. But they have a couple songs in there.
I need to watch
Pretty
that.
fun.
I love Metalocalypse. It's such a weird but fun show.
This is the ending too.
Oh,
This
Scott.
is the last thing they're doing.
Oh, that's right, because he was running into some issues, wasn't he?
Well, they got canned, and then they got to do Doomstar Requiem,
Yeah.
and then they were supposed to get a mini-series, and then that got canned. So they basically went to, everybody who likes Metalocalypse, tweet incessantly at them till we get to do more.
I just like the fact
And
there's
they were
one
allowed
guy
to do
doing it.
this.
It's like one guy doing all this shit. It's like, oh, you're taking too long. It's like, yes, because there's one of me. But,
I don't think that's true.
the movies got bigger people, but when he was doing the series, it was just basically him doing all the music.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, yeah, the music, yeah.
Yeah, well, he wasn't doing
Sorry, I
animated.
thought you meant the
No,
whole
fuck
show,
that.
and I'm like, no.
The writing, the music, all that shit was just one dude. And it's like, that's kind of the meat and potatoes of this. That's the hard part. Like, fuck, guys.
And he plays like half the fucking
Yeah,
cast.
like, he plays half the cast. He does most of the actual, like, music itself. Like, he plays most of the instruments. Like, holy shit.
Well, it's because they make actual albums
Yeah.
to go with the show and the movies.
I love that.
I'd like it if they did like
so good.
a resurgence of a lot of like those shows of that when Metalocalypse first started, like a Harvey Birdman and like a few of the
Yeah,
others, like
the-
actually brought like a whole thing of it back together.
The early days of Adult Swim. There's like
Yeah.
the Bird Girl wasn't too bad. The new attempt at it.
Yeah, I like that.
It was pretty fun, but it had that same energy, which is what I wanted.
Did either of you guys watch Frisky Ningo?
Yes, that was such a
That show.
strange fucking show.
That was a good show.
Good show. Like the early days of Adult Swim were pretty weird, right?
Yeah, the Brack Show and Harvey Birdman,
Yeah.
and all of those were just fucking great.
Do you remember the RS Mr. Hell show?
Yes.
Back where what was it? Louis the killer seal.
Serge the Baby Seal.
That's
Yeah.
Fuck, that was funny. Oh god, I remember watching a lot of that. That and like Happy Tree Friends and Friends. Like,
Yeah.
because that used to be on like a not quite a variety show, but it was like a few different things all clung together. So there was like,
I mean, I saw that on the internet before I saw it as an actual
yeah,
show.
because there was like a few other things that went with it. One of them was, God, what was it? Like a caveman and an alien. I can't remember what they were called, but god, they were funny. Like a claymation kind of thing.
Didn't have to top of my head on that.
I'd have to do some research to find them
I
again.
remember the Mr. Hell show a lot more.
Yeah. The one that sticks in my head for the RS was the Hell Show was the Scooby-Doo episode. That was a good one.
Was like Sam's sorry, I really liked Harvey Birdman, but when Shaggy gets done for drugs, none of the Scooby stacks, man. Like, god damn, like
No, that was fun.
everyone thought of, like he's a stoner, straight out he's a stoner, but to actually do a full episode on it is just fucking great.
Oh, it was a good one. I just loved the little references in that one. That was so much fun. We are the Jetsons one. Like, we are from the far off reaches of year 2003. Looks at the calendar and says it's 2006 already. He's like, cool. The glory days of Adult Swim. I haven't watched much of their new stuff actually.
I think I was about to say the only thing I can think of that's new that I've watched isn't on there anymore. It's on Hulu.
Yeah.
So I've still been watching the Futurama, and I would give it a miss personally.
Yeah, like Robot Chicken is still
It's not
going
good.
apparently. I don't know how.
Is it?
Like I
Fuck.
swear I saw something new from them recently.
I got to look this up now. I could have sworn they finally threw in the towel.
I swore they did a long time ago. But they kept
Swore
going.
or just hoped?
Bit of both.
Yeah, still going till present.
Yeah, I think most of the original writers are gone. I think not Seth Green.
McFarlane.
Is it Seth Green?
No, Seth Green was the one on Robot.
Yeah, no. Seth Green is, I think, the one of the few remaining ones left.
Yeah, last episode aired April 11th, 2022.
Yeah, they're still gone. I don't think they'll.
Given that there's usually about a year to a year or more between seasons because of stop motion, they're still on track for another season.
Yeah, fair. Alright, it's pretty simple and, like, it gets the job done, but I haven't watched any in a while. I just saw it pop up. So, maybe one day I'll go back and watch it all. Maybe.
I mean, it's early days. Like, it was popular when we were at uni, and like everybody was watching.
Oh yeah. It's like going back and watching original Family Guy. It's like, this is funny, but at the same time, I'll go to some new stuff.
I'll defend some of old.
There is still
Family
some
Guy.
old Family Guy. It's amazing, but it got the same issue The Simpsons got. I think it should have died a while ago. But
At least Family Guy was like, we're already completely fucking absurd. We're
Yeah.
not even trying.
well, like Family Guy
I think the
leaned
problem
into the
with
fact
this-
they were trying to get like cancelled at one point. It's like, go on, do it, cancel us, see what happens. Like,
So, but the problem with The Simpsons is that show's not completely grounded, but more grounded, and it's gotten wackier and wackier and wackier. And it's just like, this isn't working.
every episode's a Halloween episode now.
Yeah.
I can't believe, like, even
They're real
South
dumb.
Park is still going. Like, I don't know how many seasons they've got now, but fuck, I thought they would have been gone a long time ago.
Well, I mean, they had some serious growing pains through some of those seasons.
They
Yes.
did, yeah. But now it's become more of a ongoing social commentary. Like whatever happens is they try and keep
Well,
up
I mean,
to date.
they've been that for a while. The problem was that they decided to, instead of doing a single episode commentary, they did a season-long commentary.
Yeah.
And that about the presidential election leading up to Trump's election. And they fucked themselves.
Yeah. They kind of got screwed there.
And that's part of why they went back to the old format, because it's like, oh, that didn't work. That was really bad.
Yeah. But they figured it out, and they owned it. So that's the thing. Like, at least they
Yeah.
can laugh at themselves,
Oh, yeah.
like, which is great. You kind of want that.
And particularly if you're making the comedy shows where I need to make the heart.
Yeah, pretty much. And in the corner, we've got the
Well-
Orville just doing amazing things. God damn, I want more.
Yeah. I mean, who knows if we'll get more, man.
Fucking hope we do.
Oh, so do I. Like, that show is just so fucking good. But who knows? Although, we did just have the newest season of Solar Opposites, which was a fun experience.
That was a fun kind of return to form, I think, which was pretty good. Like, they dropped some pretty heavy-handed hints at things in
I
that
mean-
one.
I think that was surprised. That worked surprised. Like, I was not expecting, because they had to change out the voice
Yeah.
of Corvo.
Yeah.
And they went hard away from it.
Yeah.
They didn't even try and get a sound like it. Was like, what is the opposite of the guy we had?
He sounds like Laszlo from What We Do in the Shadows, I swear to God.
Yeah, I know.
I can't unhear it. Like, but I love it. It still works. But it's just the fact that, yes, that Ray also had chronotons in it, so all the was it background shit has it me that new voice as well. You can't escape. It's done. Like, neat. And, as always, the only thing that carries over from that series is The Wall.
I'm actually kind of getting sick of that plotline.
Yeah, they seem to be moving away
Not
from
that
it.
I think that the wall doesn't have room to do something interesting. I'm just getting sick of, okay, so what was the first plot with the wall? Well, we're taking down the dictator, the Duke. Okay. Well, we did that.
Yeah.
So what's the next plot line? Taking down the dictator, Tim.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we did that. So what's next? Taking down the dictator that's the head of the Bohemian Church. Fuck, can we just stop having a tyrant take over the wall? It's not that interesting anymore.
Oh, well.
Well, we made it out past an hour. We limped over the line.
We got there!
Yeah, it's very meandery, but we got there.
I mean, that's a quiet week for
Yeah.
you. It's like there's not a lot to talk about. Whereas next week it's going to be like, all right, so how can we compress an hour-long podcast recording session into 10 minutes so I can go back to stuff?
Yes.
I'll tell you how. Fuck you, because I'll still be here doing this shit.
If you listen carefully, you can already hear future Dan screaming. Like, it's like when Vegeta's scream reverberates through time.
Yep.
So, we'll catch you all next week. Y'all have a good one.
Bye!
See ya.